According to World Health Organization, alcohol consumption is a causal factor of so many diseases, more than 200 injuries and other health conditions. Drinking alcohol is associated with a risk of developing health problems such as mental and behavioral disorder, including alcohol dependence, and major non-communicable diseases such as cancers and cardiovascular diseases. This and more we will be discussing on Hot Button today. I am Tayo Adeleke, and joining me on the program today I have
Queen Oyewole
and
Adeleke Omotayo.
Welcome on the program. Today we shall be discussing on addiction on alcohol. What are the effects of addiction on alcohol? Is there any health benefit of alcohol? We shall be discussing that on Hot Button today. And if I may ask Queen, what or how should I say, how can you describe alcohol?
Okay, I would describe alcohol as any product that has gone through fermentation. Any product that has gone through fermentation and can cause the user to be intoxicated. That is what I would describe as alcohol. Once one gets intoxicated, the person is no longer his or herself. The person loses judgment. The person loses coordination, muscle coordination. So the person can do things he or she doesn't want to do. So once one takes things that makes the person to get intoxicated, that is alcohol.
Once someone takes something that makes him intoxicated, that's alcohol. And to Bayo, is there any other thing you want to say on that?
Yes. With respect to my field, we know alcohol to be a colorless liquid.
Colorless.
Though it comes in different forms, but it is actually a colorless liquid that is used for so many domestic and industrial purposes. But then it can be generated locally as well. It is majorly a product of a fermentation process. Anytime fermentation occurs, there must be generation of alcohol.
Anytime fermentation occurs, there must be a generation of alcohol. And then, you know, in our society, we have various types of this alcohol that we're talking about. Can you mention a few that are peculiar in our own society?
Thank you, Tayo. Majorly, there are three basic classes of alcohol. Okay. The classification goes thus. We have beer, we have wine, and we have spirit. Beer is the most common form of alcohol that is majorly consumed. It is produced industrially. Beer majorly is produced from fermentation of carbohydrate foods, maybe barley or rice or cassava. Any carbohydrate food can get to be acted upon by some bacteria, made to undergo some fermentation processes and then generate alcohol for the beer industry. Wine is majorly produced by subjecting grapefruit to fermentation process. Just put some bacteria around it and then make it undergo fermentation, and then that generates alcohol from wine or some other fruit. Spirit is also a fermentation product that is often generated from local materials like carbohydrates, food materials like rice or sugar or anything in the like. So those are the three main classifications of alcohol, basically. They can now come in different brands, in different products, commonly consumed products and those.
So this substance is commonly among youths, both male or female. What can you say is the cause, Queen?
Okay, thank you. I would say that there are many causes or many reasons why youths, male or female, would want to take alcohol. One that I know very well is peer pressure. Males or females when their friends start taking alcohol or start going out, taking, one shot, they want to join them. They want to be involved. They want to take as well. They do not want to be left out. They don't want to be seen as good guy or good girl in quotes. So they just want to belong. That is one reason I know that people take these intoxicated drinks. They just want to join them. Another reason I would say is people say that alcohol is good to ease stress or for one to forget one's sorrows. So if somebody has maybe family problems, life issues, the person wants to take alcohol to just forget the problems for a while. But the truth is that after the effect of the alcohol is gone, the person falls back to the same problems. And so maybe the person keeps taking and then it becomes an addiction. So these are reasons why people take alcohol that I know.
Okay, Tobias, what are the causes among youth?
One major cause that people often leave out is the fact that family history can be a predisposing factor to alcoholism. And though it's multidimensional, family history in the sense that there's a disease called fetal alcohol syndrome. If a pregnant mother abuses alcohol during pregnancy, it can subject the child to neurological syndromes after birth. Now, if there is a child who grows in let's say, beer parlor, one of the parents operates a beer parlor, or somebody in the family where such a child is growing up abuses alcohol or takes alcohol, it is very much likely, there is a very high possibility that such a child will get to develop interest in taking alcohol because such a child is surrounded by cues in the family, especially the home, which is usually like the first place of socialization. The home, the child is being exposed to it, then early life exposure matters. When the child grows up in such an environment, it gets so used to the way it smells, the way it behaves, the way it sparkles in the bottle, the aroma, then possibly the reactions of those taking it. The child gets to observe, gets to imitate, and then one way or the other, the child is getting used to it passively. And one day, if care is not taken, such a child may become a very active alcoholic.
Can be addicted to
I tell you, sir, it's possible.
Well, some people who are addicted to this substance, some see it as a means of easing their stress, while some see it as a means of enjoyment. Do you think it really works?
Let's pick it up from the aspect that one of the rationales of behind the intake of alcohol is to ease stress. It is possible. It is possible. It is because the way alcohol behaves, it is absorbed rapidly into the blood. And when it is absorbed, it generates a very high amount of energy. When that is done, it stimulates the satiety controlling center of the brain that, you see, this person has enough energy in the body. So like that, the energy rush, that tends to help some people to ease out because it's a psychoactive substance. It gets to stimulate several aspects of the brain. And in that way, one may develop a feeling that may be similar to not feeling stressed up or having extra energy to go extra mile or to multitask or to just have to feel very high, feel elated. It can bring about the sense of euphoria. So alcohol works that way. I could remember there was a study we did last year, and then we observed that the intake of alcohol, immediately it was administered, it had gone into the blood and was already interacting with several parts of the body. So because it can interact with several organs in our body, especially the brain, which is a very important organ of the body, it tends to help to ease stress. Actually, that may not be very, very far from the truth.
Okay, this our society. Can we say poverty might be one of the one of the predisposing factor that contributes to alcohol addiction?
It depends on one's environment.
Okay.
Depends on one's environment. Poverty could make one to get addicted to alcohol as well as not.
Okay.
So poverty, when a man cannot provide for his home, he could result to, thinking that he has amounted to nothing. And so he just goes, since he's good for nothing, he just goes to sit down with friends and then drinks all day. And then, he thinks he's not good enough, or he thinks he can't provide for his family. So he just uses the little change he has and drinks, and then maybe forgets his problems or responsibilities, and then just goes that way, thinks that that's the best option. And then, it's not like rich people don't take alcohol too. Rich people take alcohol, expensive wines, in meetings, in gatherings, social gatherings, family meetings, and meetings, business meetings, all of that. Yes, so alcohol is taken by all classes of people. Youths, the old men, in villages, they do that too. They take alcohol too. So it's a general thing amongst the rich, amongst the poor. It's something that has become so rampant that, in fact, things should be done to help the youth to get over this serious addiction. Yeah.
So what can Bayo say about that?
Anyway, you see, that question is a very sensitive one. Okay. I totally agree with Queen. I agree with her perspective. Okay. But there is also the other side, okay, which we mustn't overlook. When we look at the world population, is it the world population statistics or something, the database, we'll see that the top 10 countries where alcoholism is most rampant, the top 3, they are developed countries. Yes. I don't know about the other one, but I could see only one African country among the top 10. Okay. And when we look at the top 3, we can say that these are developed countries, and alcohol intake is very high. In fact, specifically, I think on Wikipedia, there is this statistic that says that the alcohol industry in 2019 actually made over $1 trillion in 2019 alone. Profit from the sales of alcohol exceeded, globally anyway, exceeded $1 trillion. Then what are we saying? I would believe that the poor class of people who take alcohol, possibly they might be consuming it based on what they can afford. I'm sure if they can afford a more expensive form of alcohol, I'm sure they will take it, they will go for it. So this shows that, taking all these statistics together, it shows that it is likely that the rich class of individuals actually take more, find they can afford it. No matter, somebody once told me that, you see, your salary is not enough to be spent at a backyard bar. A backyard bar, not even
for you to know how much they spend.
For you to know how much they spend on alcohol. So we can, it goes down that people at the rural areas, the local places, you see alcohol, taking consumption of sachet alcohol is very common because, of course, that's what they can afford. But when you give these people chances to take more, if they get a free means of taking more, they tend to take more. So the fact that they are not taking as much as the rich people are taking is the fact that they cannot afford as much as the rich people can afford. If they can afford a higher amount, I'm sure they will go. We've seen some people in the poor classes who don't mind spending a significant amount of their income on alcohol. So it all depends, as it is very common to all ranks of individuals, from the lower class to the very rich guys in the society. Maybe it's more common among them.
So it's not only poverty alone that caused it.
Maybe the other side of poverty even is a cause.
Okay, then if I may ask, what healthier effect does alcohol have? Because when you see everyone taking it, you see on the streets, you see everywhere taking it, you move from one pillar to another, you see a beer parlor, you see a bar, and so many other things. Is there any healthy effect on it? And then if there is none, can you tell us the costs of it in our body, in the body system?
Industrially, alcohol is very useful. Domestically, it is also very useful. Medically, it may be useful in the aspect of using it as a disinfectant, being part of many disinfectants, maybe in the hospital or in the laboratories to disinfect the table to kill microorganisms or this or that. Maybe part of some antiseptics, when you see hand wash, this and that. But pharmacologically, the uses are very scarce, though depends on the on one's line of thought. There is a school of thought that believes that, anyway, we have read it, that alcohol might be used as certain part of medications. Maybe because of the traditional uses, people use it to extract herbal medications. It doesn't mean that the alcohol itself is the one that is carrying out the health benefit. It is the herb that they are using it to extract. So it's just a solvent. Of course, in the laboratory, we do that very well too. But before we subject such herb, in the course of developing a new drug, before we subject it to something we call preclinical trial, like testing the health benefits of this thing, we have to remove the solvent. It means before we even subject this thing that we have used alcohol to extract, we'll get the alcohol out of it first. So the alcohol is not part of it. So, but pharmacologically, when you look at it, it is hard to say this is specifically one health benefit of alcohol intake.
So if it's not health benefit, why people are taking it? well, like you said, for some people it's just to ease their temporary stress because it's not taking it permanent. It's just stress. So rather than focusing on God, they are actually focusing on the alcohol. Now, coming to the youth now, how does this addiction affect relationship?
Okay. Alcohol, like Bayo said, has no healthy benefits. It's, in fact, Proverbs 20 verse 1 says that strong drink is raging. Wine is a mocker and strong drink is raging. And whosoever that is deceived thereof is not wise. So there is no wisdom whatsoever, no healthy benefits in taking alcohol. In fact, if the Bible says that whosoever takes alcohol is not wise, that means it's foolish people that take alcohol. Actually, sorry to use the word foolish, but in the real sense of it, let's think about it. There is no healthy benefit it gives. It only causes problems in the society. It causes crimes, it causes accidents, youths get intoxicated, they get into their vehicles, they're on the highway, a lot of accidents, lives are lost. There is, like you said, pharmacologically, there is no healthy benefit. Once one gets intoxicated with alcohol, one loses 10,000 brain cells. 10,000 brain cells is lost. And alcohol affects every cell in the system. It destroys many parts of the body. Destroys the brain, it affects the heart, it affects the liver, causing cirrhosis in the end. It affects pancreas. It affects almost every part of the body. So there is really no health benefit it gives, apart from giving us this high, like you said, euphoria. It gives us this high feeling, you want to be among friends. But even socially, as a social factor, alcohol is not the best. It's not the best. It is better to stay away from it. And like we all know, temperance. Some people say, you can drink it. Yeah, just sip it moderately. Just take small. I don't really drink. I only drink on occasions. I drink socially. Really, what is temperance? Temperance is abstinence from that which is evil, and taking in moderation that which is good. So if alcohol is not good, like the Bible said, it's only fools that take it. If it's not good with no benefit, then it's better to abstain from it because it's doing our body bad. And we know that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. Yes, temple of God. And so if we want Christ to dwell in us, we wouldn't take something that would affect us, even affect our health. You know, we want to live well. We want to be healthy. We want to be happy people. We want to live long. We don't want to get sick and go to the hospital and then we are, you know, going in and out of hospital, spending so much. You know, health is wealth, right? Yes. Yeah, people go to the hospital, come out. It causes a lot of pain. It even causes shame. Imagine having a son who is an alcoholic and his mother is, you know, worried. Everybody in the community is like, oh my, this child has gone really wayward. And you know, that child probably is not even seeing what he's doing wrong. He's just, you know, enjoying with his friends. Meanwhile, it's causing pain to somebody. It's causing societal damages, causing issues in the society, causing shame, disgrace. So why do something that wouldn't bring any good to one's name or to the name of one's family? So it's better to just stay out of it. If one has already gotten to the point of addiction, then it's better to seek help.
I think we are coming to that. It's better to seek help. And because of our time is not on our side. Bayo, let me give some instance. Some students, let me say youths now, they will take this, they will tell you they want to use it to read so that they can assimilate well, so that they can actually understand what they are reading. Do you think there is anything positive on such?
I'm not sure anybody can read and assimilate under the influence of alcohol. Because alcohol impairs one's sense of judgment.
You know, they will find excuse in what they are doing.
Yes, they try to justify
they try to justify what they are doing and see that they are right.
You see, Tayo, the thing is that when somebody is addicted, it means the person is no longer in control of him or herself. Irrespective of whatsoever consequences that might result, such as those ones that Queen has mentioned, you are only taking it to satisfy a craving. When you are craving for something, and the Bible says that he who has no control over his soul is like a city without a wall. Such a person has lost control over his own soul. So it's only to satisfy mere craving. I may like biscuits. I like lollipop, not because of any known health benefits, but because I like it. You see me with lollipop all the time. And sometimes if I see it from anywhere, this is lollipop, I don't want to care what is in it, how it makes me feel, I have to collect and take. It means I am addicted to it. So people take this thing not for any positive effect actually, but because it's just a craving, a longing of their soul that must be satisfied, period.
Now, the program is winding down and we need to actually help someone out there to recover from this addiction, because people are looking out there. Some people may be addicted. Some youths can actually be thinking of coming out from this addiction. What are the ways that one can actually follow to be out of this act?
The first thing I would say to someone who wants to come out of any addiction at all, whether alcohol or any other form of addiction, is to seek the help of God. Because without Christ, we can do nothing. Without Him, we cannot do anything. So the person needs to pray. The person needs to sincerely tell his or her Father that, Lord, I am tired of this thing that is not making me to act right. This thing that is causing shame and reproach to your name and to my family. Something that I cannot control. It has gone beyond the person's control. That's why it's an addiction. So the person needs God's help. The person really needs God's help. The person could also seek a counselor or an older person that he or she can confide in. Then the person can give steps. Can also seek medical advice, to help the person, maybe reduce the shots, replace with water. Yes, when the craving comes, the person can take water or probably go to sleep. If it's that much.
Anyway, I would say
few
that
seconds.
I would say that maybe the first thing is for one to actually recognize that I have a problem. I have an addiction problem. If I don't know I have a problem, I will not be able to take the right step to solving it. Yeah. I need to understand that there's a problem that needs a solution. Maybe that's one. In addition to what Queen said, another thing might be to stay away from the environmental cues. If there's a child that grows up in a home where drinking is the order of the day, in order to help such a child, it will be good to raise such a child outside such influence. Any environmental cues that suggest that, if it is friends, if it is anything that suggests alcohol intake, stay away from it.
Yeah, and even friends as well. Friends that you know, the person knows takes, you know, the person,
Such,
such
they are in such
drinks.
act.
Yes, the person can cut off from such friends or such gatherings that you know that, okay, if I go to this place, they would definitely give alcohol. Why not stay away from such gatherings so that you are safe and you are able to positively and completely get out
and even get healthy
of such addiction.
I think another thing that is very important in this is self-control, which is very, very important. You can be in the midst of your peer pressure, but don't be influenced by what they are doing. Stand alone for Christ. And the Bible said our body is the temple of God. We need to maintain it and keep it holy at any point in time. Thank you for joining us on Hot Button today. Thanks to Queen and Bayo for coming on the program. Till we'll come your way next time, I am Tayo Adeleke. Remain blessed.